looking for that private, peaceful Edmonton home surrounded by trees and nature in an amazing community to boot? Well, you're in the right place. Hey, everybody. My name's Leanna Martins, and I am an Edmonton real estate agent. And today I'm going to take you through Edmonton's Rivervalley and Ravine communities. So stay tuned and get seated because you are about to see some of Edmonton's best prime real estate. And if you watch all the way through, you're going to be surprised because it's not all as expensive as you might think. Okay, so this is what we are going to do. I'm actually going to take you through a map to give you an overview. So if you're looking at Edmonton and doing some research and figuring out where things are, what's the proximity of everything, this is what you're going to see all the time. You're going to see the map of Edmonton, right? So I'm going to zoom in just a little bit, and this is going to be the North Saskatchewan River, right? That meanders through the center of Edmonton, that city center, and all the way up out to the northeast side of Edmonton. So any communities that are along that river are River Valley communities. Now, in addition to that, there are still many other properties and communities that are built alongside green space and ravines, for example. So Glenridding Ravine is down to the south. There's Glenridding, right? So Glenridding Ravine homes, those are beautiful homes on this side of McEwen. So this ravine through here, there's still some beautiful real estate that you can get. McGrath will be down here. It's kind of like the more luxury area of Terwilliger. Twin Brooks is surrounded by ravines. So all the way through here. So I'm going to take you through those communities. So here we have Edmonton, and I'm going to start at the southwest corner of the River Valley, southwest Edmonton. And then we're going to meander our way all the way through here, all the way up to the northeast side. So I have done a video, which is Edmonton's top 5 River Valley communities. Please click on that because it's going to go into more depth. But the reason that I'm doing this overview is because there is more than 5 communities. And I really want to give you guys as much information as possible and just give you all the choices that there really is. So let's start in the southwest side. And again, I said I was going to go up, and then we're going to cover the ravine space after. And I'm still going to focus in southwest because that's where the predominant amount is. So let's zoom in here. Here we go. So you can see Keswick. I've got property tours of Keswick that are right on the ravine. So if you go through my property tour section, you'll see that as well. And Windermere. So Windermere it's considered a luxury community, but it's got everything that you can think of in terms of they have entry-level condos. It's newer community in the last 20 years it's been built. They have townhomes, and then they have duplexes, single family, and then luxury. So of course, depending on where your lots are located, and because we're talking about the River Valley, those are going to be the most luxurious lots. So these are some of the southwest communities. Keswick is a new community. Again, I've got property tours of that. And Windermere. And there's Windermere Golf and Country Club is in here because it's right in the River Valley. Now, if we kind of meander up through here, this is Ramsay Heights. There we go. So this is called Riverbend. So this is the Riverbend area. Again, Ramsay Heights is one of the 5 communities that I highlighted in Edmonton's top 5 River Valley communities. And you can see where its proximity is and how it lies and really just kind of hugs the North Saskatchewan there. Then if you go through here, Cameron Heights is a newer community as well, about 20 years old. And Cameron Heights, the only downfall of Cameron Heights is there's only one access point, which is right in through here. It's a newer community. It's quite nice. They've got some really beautiful higher value real estate. It's built out well. It really is just the access and the exit. There's only one, and then it goes straight out to the Henday. And then we have Wedgwood, and Edgemont's more of a ravine. It's not River Valley. Wedgwood Heights, and then through here. So this is going to be the south side of the river. This is the west side of the river. So these are some of the older communities all through here. So these are going to be built, with the exception of Cameron Heights, which is newer, but Wedgwood Heights, Garapi. These ones are built in the 70s and the 80s. So these, again, are these really big, beautiful lots that have typically bi-level, 3-level split, 4-level split homes. So Oliskew and Westridge, right through here, these are really coveted lots in a very coveted area. There is real estate, it turns over for sure. People will age out, but this is one of Edmonton's most prime locations. And you can see why, especially Westridge, right? So you can see the ravine. And again, it's in Edmonton's top 5 River Valley communities. Check it out. This is what I was talking about, is the ravines that it borders on. So depending on where you are, I mean, you really are just surrounded by nature. And if you look at the dotted trails, that basically is the river valley right through there in terms of like walking trails, biking trails, stairs, hiking, all of that. So there's the Wolf Willow stairs right there. And they're an ass kicker. I've done them. So there we go. And now we're going to follow Olisque, Westridge, Patricia Heights, Rio Terrace, and Quesnel Heights. So this is a really unique little kind of cul-de-sac. It's not really a cul-de-sac, but just a small area. And again, the challenge with this one, with Patricia Heights in particular, is there's only one access point. It's this one road that all three of these communities exit out of. So it ends up getting super congested, and it's 156. However, you do have direct access to White Mud Freeway, which is that right there. I'm going to say a hidden gem that I happen to love, friends, because of the price points you can get in, is Lynwood. So Lynwood is more, so it's not directly on the river valley, but you can see there's some green space lots right through here. Honestly, you're going to get some higher value real estate, but for that community, it's like 700 grand. And there's some prime things, but those lots don't come up very often. But I'm a big fan because I feel like it is a hidden gem, that little community. And I think that there's big appreciation there over the long haul, like over the next 20 years. So now we're going to go into Laurier. So this is where I am right now. Can you see my house? My house is located in Laurier. I am right here, as a matter of fact. I'm not in a prime River Valley home, and I love where I live. So this is the community league right here. And again, I feature Laurier in Edmonton's top 5. So Laurier, you can see, like, is just surrounded. There's Buena Vista Park, Wilfrid Laurier. There's the zoo that I talk about in my video. These are some of Edmonton's most expensive lots, and it's because not just the river valley, but it's because of the view that you get if you're right on that prime street, is you actually get the view of downtown Edmonton, right? So this is location. So if you're east facing, the back of your home is east facing, it's pretty exceptional views. So yeah, there's the zoo, there's the park, there's a boat lodge down there. It's direct access to the river valley. Anybody who is outdoorsy, likes to run or bike, or, you know, if it's more you just want to go for a walk after dinner, it's just the accessibility of green space is really unparalleled. So I'm a lucky girl. I love where I live. So now we're going to take a little hop, skip, and a jump down south of Laurier, and that gets us into Grandview Heights. So this is closer to the University of Alberta. So if you click here, I have done a video on a property tour in Grandview. You can check it out. It is $1 million tour. It was a unique build. So check that one out. So this is the U of A Alberta farm. So this is their agricultural land, but that's not the actual U of A. So I'm going to pull it up so you can see where the U of A is, because that confuses people. So there's the U of A, but there's a lot of people that really love this community because of its accessibility, right, to White Avenue, which is right here, 82nd Ave, and the U of A, and also Snow Valley. Snow Valley is just down on White Mud, which is like, honestly, it's 5 minutes away. And the school. So Grandview has an amazing school. But the Fraser Institute rates Grandview School as one of the best in Edmonton. I believe it's a 9 out of 10 in the Fraser Institute. So you can see that it is just built. It's nestled in beautifully into the river valley right there. So if we pull up, Belgravia is one of Edmonton's, Belgravia and Windsor Park. This is like high value real estate for sure. This one's built in the 50s. Grandview is built more in 70s and 80s. So Belgravia is a prime location. There's lots of university profs that will choose Belgravia or Windsor Park or McKernan, but lots of Belgravia. And there is a huge amount of infill development. So these 1950s lots torn down and really high value real estate's going in there. So they're starting around 700,000 at a low, and they're going all the way up to 2 million on average. So Belgravia, prime real estate. And then we're going to go up into Windsor Park. So Windsor Park, this is going to, one of the most desirable things about Windsor Park, obviously, is the location. And the U of A is actually in the neighborhood and community of Windsor Park. So this is a 1950s community as well. So in these prime communities, much like on the other side of the river, further west, just across the river in Laurier, Rio Terrace, Quesnel Heights, these communities were built in the 50s, but because of the location and the prime real estate, they're desirable, they're aspirational places to live. And there's development throughout all the decades, right? So from the 50s, you've got 90s builds in there, you've got 2000s, 2010s, and then brand new infills. So the exact same thing with Windsor Park. And I would say one of the biggest benefits of Windsor Park in particular that you do not have with Belgravia. Belgravia is a huge pain in the ass because the same thing with some of these communities is the access points. There's only one access point right on 114th, which this is massively backed up. Belgravia Road down into Fox Drive for rush hour traffic. It's absolutely brutal. And then same thing as University Ave. And that what people are doing is they're from downtown. So if you happen to work downtown, Windsor Park's an amazing location, but Windsor Park has more than one entry point. So this will take you into the U of A, but you can pass it. And you have this street right here. You have that street that goes all the way in, plus you still have the north side of the community as well. So there's way more opportunities for a healthy, more dispersed flow of traffic. So I'm going to pull it out a little bit. That covers our southwest down into kind of central communities. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. And so Laurier Heights, we're going to pop back over to the west side, and Parkview are they're very close, especially down through here. This is down the zoo area. So these are the prime lots. Again, some of Edmonton's most expensive real estate is down through here. So Parkview is just north of Laurier, and then you're going to move into Glenora. So Glenora is an old community. Parkview and Crestwood, sorry, I shouldn't have left out Crestwood, Parkview, Laurier Heights. So again, prime real estate. McKinnon Ravine, I lived just off McKinnon Ravine. It's awesome because you can enter into the jogging trails right through here. And this will take you right down into Rivervalley Road, Victoria Golf Course. You can train and run, bike down straight into Horlock Park. Same thing in terms of the access points. Through Parkview, there's one access point, and then there's more than one in through Laurier. So again, those are the reasons that these communities are so desirable. There's lots of members of the Royal Mayfair Golf Club. Also, the Royal Glenora is right on Rivervalley Road, right through here. So there's Victoria Golf Course. The Royal Glenora should be right about there. So now we're going to move into Glenora. So these are some of the most coveted lots right through here in Glenora. And I will be doing additional videos on that so you guys can see that a little bit more. Now, as we go through downtown, this is all going to be condominiums because we're entering downtown. So there's no more larger lots. This is the heart of city center through here. So there's two really cool communities that I am excited to bring you through. So you can see, of course, downtown. Then we get into, there is actually residential communities that are like a regular community, but that are literally almost right downtown. So one of them is Rosedale. So Rosedale is situated just north of the North Saskatchewan River. And then you see just south, literally, you just hop on 109 Street, Walterdale Bridge as well, and you'll be right at the U of A. You're right on White Ave. So it's a really, really cool location, but it's nestled right on the banks of the River Valley, as is Riverdale right here. So this is Rosedale in through here, and then you have Telus Field, and then this is Rivervalley Road. So Rivervalley Road is gorge, and then you can it's just through the fall is amazing right now, and it's just amazing for hiking. Well, it's not really hiking. This is like running, biking, or walking, right? And then you've got a footbridge right here, and that'll bring you right into the south side of the River Valley. I am going to bring you can see Riverdale through here again, like it's built right around on the edges of the River Valley, which again is why it's called Riverdale. So this Rosedale is what I featured in my top 5 videos, but Riverdale is extremely similar. But Riverdale is actually just built, a large portion of it is built on a hill. So Boyle Street, so this is some of the worst real estate in Edmonton, which is what's interesting. Macaulay, Boyle Street. So this is really inner city Edmonton. So it really is a gorgeous community because it's built on the banks of the River Valley. These lots right here look out to Green River Valley Trail across from your home, the front of your home, and you walk across and you are like steps to the river itself. So location's amazing. I'm going to pull it out a little bit Now, so this is where we were. This is Riverdale, and this is Forest Heights. This Forest Heights I featured in another video, which was Edmonton's top 6 communities. Boom, check that one out. Because I love Forest Heights, because the price point in Forest Heights is accessible. Rosedale's higher, it's around $667. That's the average price. But you can get your homes, you know, let's say 5 to 1.2. But Forest Heights, I mean, you can get into Forest Heights in $400,000. Really, in some, well, and depending on where the home is, you can get in for less than that. They have condos, they have townhomes. The stock is like 1950s, tiny little home, like 2 bedrooms up, 1 bedroom down. Let's say it's, you know, 425 grand on a lot, may even be a big lot, which is great. Or, you know, there's the prime locations here. Forest Heights is a fantastic community. Again, check that link out. It is fantastic because I go through this in much, much more detail. But I'm telling you, Forest Heights, one of my favorite communities because it's financially affordable and it's a great location. So this view along here is absolutely gorgeous. And its proximity to White Avenue is amazing. If indeed you want to go to White Avenue, if you want to go directly into the River Valley, phenomenal. Riverside Golf Course right there, downtown Edmonton right there. You can go into from Forest Heights. In Rosedale, every year they have Folk Fest. And so like your proximity to Folk Fest is ridiculous. So it's fantastic. Forest Heights, Strathern as well. So there's been a lot of infill in through Strathern and through Bonnie Doon, which has made it extremely expensive. Now, if we move up, Macaulay and Cromdale, again, this is inner city Edmonton. These are not the highest crime rates, highest violent crime, sexual assault, and drugs is where you're gonna find that. So I'm gonna steer you clear of that. So once we get past there though, and we go into Concordia University and we get into the Highlands, this is one of Edmonton's most historic communities, really similar to Rosedale and Riverdale, where you'll find even older homes built out from like the 1920s all the way up. So this is where you're gonna find a higher amount of historic homes. That means that they're 100 years or more older. So, and the Highlands has the Highlands Golf Course, and it literally is built right on the River Valley. So it's fantastic. That's the north side of the river. Then we have Capilano, Gold Bar. Gold Bar is good. Gold Bar has a water treatment facility in it. So did Rosedale. But there's some good real estate in here as well, and it's more affordable. I would say Forest Heights, Capilano, and Gold Bar. I still prefer Forest Heights. Now, Highlands is definitely a go-to community. Lots of people will know of the Highlands, but it's still affordable, just depending on where your lot is. Now we're moving into Beverly Heights and Rundle Heights. So this is considered Northeast Edmonton. Let's pull this out so you guys can get a better idea. So this is where we're talking right in here. Northeast Edmonton has a bad reputation, just like Southeast Edmonton is higher crime rates, but that is such a massive generalization because it completely depends on where you are. The entire northeast quadrant of the city is not crappy. There's a few communities. So moving into Clairview, higher crime rates for sure. I would say Beverly Heights, not too fantastic, right? All through here, like 118th Ave, it's not known to be the best, like Alberta Avenue, the exact same thing. Eastwood, Montrose. But once you're getting down through the edges of here through Rundle Heights, there's some high value real estate. So it's quite nice and it is affordable. Much more culturally diverse in this side of the city. So you're gonna see way more African, you're gonna see way more Somalian, you're gonna see way more East Indian as well, absolutely. Just like the southeast side of the city. It's very dense with East Indian culture down through here. So back to River Valley real estate, because that is what we were talking about. Yeah, so that's basically Rundle Heights through there. Bannerman and Fraser. So Fraser is this is built in the 1990s to 2000s. Bannerman, not a fantastic community, but if you get yourself on these edges here, you're going to get some really like beautiful lots, prime real estate at some good prices as well. So it just depends. But once you're getting into Clairview through here, as a whole, not the best. There is some decent real estate in there, but I mean, yeah, it's nowhere near. The reason that you can get some of these River Valley lots through here at more economical prices is just because of the location and what's around it. Where if you're in the west through here, it's all prime real estate. There's beautiful communities all throughout that are bounding the highest value. So I hope that that's helpful. And I did also tell y'all I was going to take you through Ravine. So it doesn't have to be the River Valley, as long as it's just green space, right? Because it's our connection to nature and our ability to step out of our home and lose ourselves in the trees and go and run and go and, experience what Mother Nature's given us. So Glenridding Heights, Ambleside, and Terwilliger you see here, but it's actually McGrath. So McGrath is the higher value real estate area of this Terwilliger area. So South Terwilliger a little bit more, but especially down through McGrath. So McGrath and Twin Brooks, I mentioned earlier. These are newer communities. So this is the Anthony Hendy, and then you're getting into like McEwen. Blackmud Creek is fantastic. It's got some really great real estate in there. These are within, I'm going to say 15 to 20 years max, these communities through here. Blackmud Creek is one of my faves. And then, this is one of my top 10 communities in Edmonton is Summerside. So Summerside's actually built on a lake. What? It's a man-made lake. Yes, we, as in humans, built the lake. So it's a man-made lake. There it is, Summerside Beach Club, private. So there are some other options. And then the Alces as well. This is a new community, very, very, very tiny. I'm not a big fan of the location. It is southeast Edmonton. There isn't a lot built out around it at this time. And but price points are good as a result. So that was a doozy, wasn't it, my friends? I hope that you stuck around for the whole part. I know I can babble sometimes. I'm sorry. However, there's just a lot to tell you, okay? There's a lot to say. So thank you for sticking around, and I hope that you have a bit more of an understanding of some of the communities, some of the still really, in terms of the experience of purchasing a lot that's surrounded by nature, that gives you access to the River Valley, that gives you that sense of peace and connection. It doesn't have to be $1 to $2 million, friends. It can be 700. It can be some areas 650. I'm going to say it can be $7 to $850,000, which would be a fantastic price for any lot that's going to be large enough, private, and give you that connection to nature. So it just depends on where you are. So thanks for watching. If you have any questions about River Valley real estate or Edmonton's best homes, or you might be considering selling and buying or relocating, guess what, friends? We take the stress out and we make it easy. So make sure you reach out below. And if you think that I've missed any really prime Ravine or River Valley communities, comment below and let me know, and I will make sure that I do that video. So, all right. So thanks for sticking around. It's time for a Teddy cameo. Hello. We'll see you in the next video. Anybody who's down for more Teddy cameos, comment below. Teddy. Bye.